What up? You already know what time it is. Welcome back to the season premiere of 1 Hour Talk with Mazee. We are in season 2. I'm your host, Maserati Santana. I appreciate y'all supporting the whole season so far. Tonight, man, my guest, I got a special guest in the building. All of y'all have seen her on The Real Side Chicks of Charlotte. She was on season 1 and season 2. Tonight, I have the pleasure of interviewing Storm. How you feeling?
How you feeling? Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely, man. I'm glad to have you a part of the platform.
Of course.
I know it was kind of last minute. I reached out, you know what I'm saying, but you here, so I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Absolutely. So go ahead and elaborate to the people who is Storm.
Okay. So of course I am Storm. That is my Instagram name. Storm is not my real name, but it's definitely my personality. It came from me being in the entertainment dancing business is where it originally started from. Literally just kept trying to come up with a name. I was new to it. I was scared. It was one of those times where it was just like, okay, like you just gonna have to jump off the porch because at this point in time, you don't really have no other options. So it just so happened my first time my cousin was like, just come on, you dance all around the house, dance at family functions all the time anyway. You might as well make some money and do it. She had been taunting me for years. And I was like, you know what? Tonight is the night. So she took me to the dance store. We got little outfits, hair, makeup, shoes. I was shaking in my boots. I had my long little dancer's shoes on, covered my knees, little thigh highs. So it was at Club Cameo, which of course was a really big major strip club, especially for CIAA, had multiple concerts, Dolph, Wayne, list goes on and on. But anyway, first night, I'll never forget. They was like, you got to audition. I'm like, I got to audition. You see all these people out here? She was like, fool, it's going to be people
audition
out here when you
to dance?
money. Yeah, you got to audition. All right, cool. So I'm thinking I'm going to get to choose my song, like a song that I already be in the mirror dancing to. No. So the song that they played was by Drake, and I cannot remember the name, but I remember it goes on and on. So started dancing. Boom. That was that. So they kept saying like, okay, you good. You can go ahead and work tonight. Pay your tip out. They was like, what's your dance name? And I'm just looking stupid. Like, I don't know. So at first I came up with, what was it? Something corny. Novelty. Okay. And they was like, really? And I was like, yeah, let's just go with it. So that first night we stuck with that. That was the stage name when they called me to the stage. CIAA, it was like a turn up. So here for CIAA, like it was really big. Like everybody came out, multiple celebrities, clubs crazy, day parties crazy. So I was like, I can't keep going by this name. Like Nalate. I went and got me a blonde wig. I remember walking past one of the security guards that worked there. He was like, hey, you know, you look like Storm from the movie. I said, like who?
Storm from like X-Men?
X-Men, yep.
The fuck?
And then,
what, you had gray hair or something?
It was the type of blonde that it was. It could have passed for that because you got to realize we in a club, so it wasn't like one of them super bright blondes. It was almost kind of like an ash blonde.
And then when the lights hit it,
yep. So he was like, "You look like Storm for X-Men," and I said, "I look like who?" I said, "Oh yeah, that's it." So my name been Storm ever since, and I ran with it. So once the show came, of course, I already had people calling me Storm. Most of the people from the city know me as Tony.
Okay.
School, stuff like that. But, you know, everybody that's been on me still call me Tony. Of course, like, my mom ain't going around calling me Storm. Like, girl, that's not what I named you.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it stuck because it was literally a part of my personality at the time. I was still young because this was back in, 2021 to, 23, because I started slowing down dancing right after COVID. So Storm literally just stuck for me.
Right.
Not so much as mass destruction or, you know what I mean? Like you coming through to cause hell. But when it got to that, it stuck for that. You know what I mean? But
that part.
I didn't want to be known for you're just always on bullshit. You know what I mean? But for the character and for that time frame, and especially for being on the Real Side Chicks, everybody has like a different type of name. Some people go with their real name. Some people brand that, but I wanted to brand Storm.
So you got Storm from dancing, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're pretty popular in Charlotte, right?
Yeah, I would say so for sure.
And you got popularity off dancing? Or you was popular in school?
Yeah, definitely in school, because I definitely went to multiple different high schools. As far as, went to West Charlotte, I went to North Meck High School, I went to Hopewell. So I was kind of spread around. My mom's like to move a lot.
I was about to say, is that a thing in Charlotte? Because everybody went to multiple high schools here in Charlotte. So I don't know if that's a thing here in Charlotte or people just like to move here.
I can't really say it's a thing, but I know, like, for my mom, she was the type of person, you come home, the furniture rearranged. You got new furniture. You got new drapes. Like, so when she was ready not to be in the house no more, like, once she sold her first 2 homes from when I was living from, I say, like, elementary to, I say, like, my 7th grade middle school year, it was definitely like moving around. Oh, I don't like this house no more. Oh, I need a new car. So wherever the district was, that's how it was set up here. You had to go to the middle school, elementary, high school that was in your district. So yeah, that's why.
Yeah. So now that we kind of got warmed up, you know what I'm saying? The audience know who Storm is now. And, let's get to the show, So the Real Side Chicks of Charlotte. How did you get introduced to the show?
Okay, so initially it started out as like a joke, because me and my homegirl, Stoney, shout out to Stoney, because that's really the reason why I was even introduced to it, because she sent it to me via Instagram through her serial management group. So we was, chatting about it, laughing, like, the Real Side Chicks. And she was like, no, go try out for it. Like, you got a good personality. You never know where it'll take you. Cool. Went on there, tell them that I wanted to be a part of the casting call. I think the casting call was somewhere off of Freedom Drive. It's an old club. It's no longer a club no more. But long story short, went to the casting call. It was cool. They asked a couple questions. By the next day, they was already, matter of fact, it was the same night. They was giving out calls, letting people know, like, we want to go ahead and bring you on this platform. Cool. So I went into the casting call. Of course, I was nervous because I ain't never done nothing like this before. Like, I've never even thought about even being in that part of the industry. You know what I mean? It just never dawned on me, like, yeah, like, maybe you can act, or, maybe you can do something within this music industry or somewhere within this field. So when they actually called and told me, like, oh, yeah, you're going to be on the show, like, I was lit. You know what I mean? I'm calling my homegirl Stoney, like, they told me that they want me to be on the show. They want me to be on the show. So I say that happened. And then I say, like, within that same rim of that week, it was a photo shoot for all of us. Because, of course, now we all needed pictures. Everything needed to start coming together as an introduction for them to start filming. So we all meet up. It's a whole bunch of us girls. Like, it was so many girls, to be honest with you. Half of the names I don't even remember, because it was a lot of us, but it was still main characters basically for the show. But it was still other girls that was, I don't want to say like our entourage. I'm not going to say it like that, but it was main characters, but it was a lot of females. So,
yeah, but hold up. But coming on the show, like, your homegirl told you that you come to audition for the show.
Yeah.
They called you back. Saying, okay, basically we're going to cast you on the show.
Yeah.
Did they give you a description what the show was going to be about?
No. Basically, it was just letting you know, like, this is a story. If you really done live this type of life as a side chick, like, we need you to tell what's going on. If you already in a situation, we need you to go ahead and broadcast it. Like, they was literally asking some of the girls, like, hey, listen, if you already got a situation or you got something going on, ask them, do they want to be a part of it, as far as like the males or, whatever was going on with them. Or they were literally saying, like, okay, find somebody else that play and act out something that you done already been through, right? First season, we ain't had to do no acting. It wasn't no scripts.
It was that lit?
When I tell you, I knew for a fact, like, it was going to take off, because it wasn't scripted. And that's what everybody really didn't understand. So many people, loving hip hop, they used to hearing like, oh, some of this is not real. It's pretty much scripted. Y'all watching this fake show. Our first season was lit, and it was very much sincere.
What made you be a part of this show, knowing that instantly people would judge this show off the title, The Real Size Chicks of Charlotte?
I'm gonna be honest with you. It never really set in until we really started getting a buzz. Like, so when they first called me and I was casted, I'm just hyped because in my mind, I'm thinking it was going to be something like Love and Hip Hop. I lived in Atlanta before, so I kind of already knew how like that show works. I knew a couple people that was on the cast. So they kind of told me the insight of that. It was nothing like it though. You know what I mean? So it never really dawned on me like, hey, you know, like you might receive a lot of backlash for this because of course, you know, the side chick name, of course, it's been around for, you know, generations and years to come, but still people look down on it. You know what I mean? And they did not like us. They didn't like us at all. But it kind of got to the point where it was like, you do also know like this is a show. So people are going to like stuff and they're not going to like it. It's not for everybody. You know what I mean? Just like certain other reality TV shows, you might not like it and you might got majority of people that do, but you don't got to watch it.
So who do you feel didn't like the show? You said just said a lot of people didn't like you.
Well, it was a lot of backlash. A lot of people from like on Facebook, like when they literally had put out that we were coming out with a show, we had some people that was super excited, like couldn't wait to see it, was super invested, reposting us, you know, saying who their favorite person was on the show, support for their friends. Like my homegirls and stuff, they already knew what it was. You know what I mean? Like they know me in real life. They know my morals. They know what I stand for, you know? Like my mom, like she knew too, you know what I mean? Cause I still had to go ahead and let her know. So my aunties and stuff went calling like, girl, you know, she on this side chick show. But, we got a lot of backlash. Like it was even a petition that was signed for us not to film this reality show. And it was a lot of people that signed it, but it was also a lot of people that was for us. And it was a lot of people that was against us as far as the comments. Like they were, you know, saying that y'all are disgusting. You're on a representation of Charlotte. We've never even seen y'all before. Who are y'all? Why would y'all want to be a representation of a side chick? And like, you know, it just goes on and on.
Yeah. Did the petition come before the shows started filming or airing or after the show or towards the end of the show?
I would say the petition probably came like in the middle when the buzz really started getting hot, when we started getting on like Shade Room. Rihanna had reposted us and said that
Rihanna?
Rihanna.
Oh, that's dope.
You know?
I know
like,
y'all
that's
was
what
super
made us
late.
even more.
Yeah.
You know, we like, oh, wait a minute. Like, Rihanna's happening. Like, and you know, Rihanna is the type of woman that don't really speak too much out on, you know, different type of stuff that goes on within the industry. But, you know, besides her own business and rarely that. So, like, when Rihanna was like, oh, yeah, this spicy. When the show come out, is this real? Because everybody kept asking, like, is it real? You know what I mean? But the petition, I want to say, it probably came after the buzz got bigger because it literally happened overnight. Like, as soon as the clips came from, like, the fights, the drama, the argument, it was just, like, on so many different blog sites. Even I was like, damn.
And you know,
like,
people love drama.
Yeah, but
drama sells.
But Storm. You got to think about it. I knew it was going to be big, but as fast as the buzz came, I wasn't expecting that. And I think that's probably what like threw me for a loop. Like, oh, wait a minute. Like, oh, it might really be on to something.
Do you feel that people had favorites on the show?
Oh, for sure. For sure. I think, you know, you got some people that's in tune with more drama. You got some people that's in tune with the one that sit there and don't really speak too much. You got the one that's in tune with, you know, the one that they feel is more dominant. The one that they feel is more as a prissy girl. Every different female and male, I feel like already had their own version set of us in their mind just off different clips and just going on our Instagram and just looking at pictures of how we live, what's going on. You know what I mean? So I do feel like certain people have favorites. I mean, and that's cool.
Yeah. So here's a question for you. Who were you before the show? And do you think the show changed the way you were as a woman going through the show all the way up into the second season when the show ended?
So, who was I before the show? I was a young lady that was literally trying to find her best way for what was going to be best for me, what was going to be best for my daughter, what route that I really needed to take. Side note, I had to have a conversation with my child too, because social network is really big. Okay.
That part.
And I had to let her know, like, don't get too involved in what you see on here. You know what I mean? Everything that you see on TV and movies and the internet is not real. And at the time, what is she? She's 15 now. She was like 12, 13. So I'm definitely kicking it to her like this, because now that she's older, we can talk plain. You know what I mean? But at 12 and 13, I still was trying to, mask stuff and not really give her the dead truth. You know what I mean? But like I said, I definitely was a woman that was trying to figure out what was the best steps for me as a mom, as a person. And of course, just growing to be a better me every day, because it's me versus me. You know what I mean? I'm in competition with myself. And, just through dancing, I experienced a lot. Like, I didn't have no bad experiences, because a lot of people think, like, when you go to the strip club, it's like, oh, you're a dancer, you're nasty, or you're selling pussy. Baby, It's all type of dancers, and I wasn't one of them. Baby, I used to get my money and go home, okay?
I mean, on a side question, though. Look, but hold up, wait, Storm, on a side question, because you've been in that industry.
Yeah.
And I know you've seen a lot that happened in that industry.
Yeah.
So on a side note, like, what would you say on a percentage level, how much is that is true? That they do sell pussy. They do, when they're dancing private dances and all this type. Like, how much of it is true?
I'm going to say, I'm only going to speak for Charlotte, because ours is different. Like, we can't get naked here. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You can't show a nipple. It has to be covered. And in most strip clubs, you can't even really too much to have a thong on, just depending on, right? Because of the type of license that you got to have, because we a Bible state. I would definitely say a good 40%. Also, depending on which club it is, because you got your heavy hitters, right? You got your in the middles. And then you got your low ball. I'm taking whatever you gonna give me. Like, I'm sorry. Dancing is a game of finesse. Like, we just gonna be honest. I'm selling you a dream. I'm selling you a fantasy, right? And it's a lot of girls, I kind of felt like, that jumped into the game and really didn't understand it. And that's why you have to sell, because now you done got in so far, you don't know what else to do. Or you might not have had somebody older really teaching you. See, I had an older cousin, so she was already telling me the ins and outs. Like, I wasn't running into dead blocks or, having dudes walking up to me like, oh yeah, if I goddamn give you 600, you ain't goddamn leave now. Like, no, but you got some girls, they done had a slow night.
And they would do that.
You understand what I'm saying? You done paid $150 tip out and you ain't got nothing but your money back. Like, hey, but guess what? I ain't going for it.
So do you think, because I never knew that Charlotte was a Bible state, a Bible city or whatever like that.
South Carolina too.
Yeah, see, I never knew that. So do you think that's why so many dancers go to Atlanta?
Yes and no. I feel like some people think because of what they see on Instagram, what used to be flaunted, because it's not shown as much, that they felt like it would be easier to get money there. You know what I mean? Easier than here. Like, don't get me wrong now. It's some niggas that's done came through with bags. You understand? But I also be feeling like they be intimidated by that. And it's been some young niggas that's done came through with bags too. But if you don't already have a mindset to know that you really just here to get that money, you're not going to be able to get no money because you're too worried about the wrong thing. Because listen, if you already talking to yourself like, I know I'm going to get a bag tonight. I know I'm going to get some money. Like, oh, somebody going to give me some money. Right?
Right.
Guess what? You already putting it out in the atmosphere for you to get money. But you be coming in thinking like, oh, who can I finesse tonight? Yeah, that's why you ain't getting shit. Because you worried about the wrong thing. You need to be worried about looking good.
And trying to,
Yeah. But Atlanta is cool. Me personally, I'm not really for the whole getting completely naked. I ain't like it. I went to Miami before. I went to Club Live. It just wasn't for me. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, not for nothing. I'm not throwing shade at nobody else that it was for. But for me,
it just wasn't it. Let's get back to the show. So.
Oh, you were speaking on how it.
Yeah, I
feel like it changed my life.
Yeah, so who you were before, but how did it change you during the show and after the show? During
the show, I think I was really like just living in the limelight. Like, I wasn't really too much worried about nothing because everything was moving so fast. Like, it went from flying us out to California, you know, in a big old mansion pool. We filming.
Ooh-wee.
What? We filming. We on a Jasmine brand. I think it was BET weekend. We had went to multiple different like parties. We did an interview with Jasmine brand. We also went to another album release party. It wasn't Rich the Kid. I can't think of dude, but it was so many different celebrities that we was around, and everything was just moving so fast. Oh, we can't forget about the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, we're going to get into that, though.
Okay.
We going to get into that.
But everything
Pump your brakes,
okay, my bad.
You be like Blueface.
Like, hold on. Look, I'm like, hey, hold on. This is a couple things that we done highlighted. Yeah. Okay. No, but everything was pretty much moving so fast. I wasn't even really focused as I should have been. Now that I'm older and I look back, I didn't do enough to maximize my platform at the time. So it changed me because it basically put me into more discipline. You know what I mean? As far as like my goals and really what is going to work for me. But at that time, I was just like...
Yeah, because if you don't have people around you to help you capitalize on the situation, and think about it, you didn't know nothing about that industry.
Nothing.
Your homegirl put you on. You got in there, you passed the casting, you know, auditioned, and now you living that life. Everything moving fast. Yeah. You lit too.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Followers coming in.
Yeah, and right. I'm pretty sure the bag was going up too, and you was dancing at the time too.
Yep. And then they playing our song in the club.
Yeah.
And
then you
and that song used to come on and talk about. I used to be lit. Hey, bitches used to be looking like.
Fuck them, right?
Hey, look, I'm telling you, but you felt the energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can feel it, but
so
I ain't giving in.
Was they ever filming y'all inside the clubs and stuff when y'all was going to the clubs?
We did film once. We was in a section, but I wasn't dancing that night. We actually was filming a whole episode where we had got off the Sprinter. We had left from eating, walked into the club, had multiple people in there. Of course, 704, like we said. Just going up in the section, you know what I mean? Just really showing like a night out with the girls.
Right.
Yeah.
That was dope.
It was.
Now, let's talk about the man that's behind the film.
Okay.
When did you first meet Pete Petrelli?
At the casting call. I had never known about him before.
What was Pete like when you first met him?
He was cool. He was real laid back. He was quiet to himself. He ain't really talk too much. You know, you might say a little joke. He might crack a little smile, but he was real laid back and to himself for sure. 704 as well. Of course, that was his song that really blew everything up because initially that was only supposed to be a just for the video, for the song. And the way that they presented it, people had started hitting Charlie thinking that it was an actual show. So that's how that came along. So
Mr. 704 had an actual song for the soundtrack. Or the real Side Chicks Charlotte.
Yep, that was his song.
Dope. Yep. That's dope. So was that the only role that Mr. 704 had in the show?
So I'm trying to think. Was 704 even filmed? No, he wasn't filming. He was basically like the money behind it. Charlie was the brains. Now, don't get me wrong. 704 might have had, you know, some input on how things should be directed, should be ran. I can't really speak too fully on that part because I'm not sure and I don't want to say nothing wrong. But I do know that Charlie was majority of the writer and as far as for producing and directing. But yeah, that's exactly how that whole vision even came about because it really was just supposed to be a music video.
Do you think that the women on the cast, do you think they respected Trelly? Far as a director, was there anybody that was there that rebelled all the time? You couldn't tell. Look, I need you to do it this way. Like, was there anything like that going on?
Yeah. So first season we had a girl. Her name was Diana Lee. She thought she was just too good for the program. You know what I mean? And we all was new to this. None of us had ever been in any type of thing like this before. Like, of course, we done a couple, you know, music videos or something of the sort like that. But to actually be the person that's, you know, head on in front of the screen doing everything, we had never done that before.
Right.
She used to always be late. She wanted to do what she wanted to do. She wanted to pull up on her own time. Like, we're all filming. We got people here from California that's filming us, like a whole film group that he's paying, and like you're acting as if like you don't nobody want to see you, Otis. Basically, is how I felt about it. You understand?
But could you blame her though? All y'all was living like stars at the time.
I mean, I understand that, but also we're trying to make it to actually be the star. We ain't got there yet, and you acting like you the star of the show, baby. We ain't even got through filming. We ain't got no deal. we ain't got paid yet, baby. We got to film in order to even present it. And it got frustrating, you know what I mean? And it did get to the point where we kept complaining. And, you know, Trelly was just kind of like, hey, y'all don't want to do this shit? The hell with it. Y'all, I'll find somebody else. You understand what I'm saying? Because it gets tiring. You using your money and you giving somebody else an opportunity to have a platform, and you kind of like, hey, fuck your time, or fuck what you trying to do for me. I'm going to come when I feel like it.
So you mean to tell me there was no discipline that was set for the cast members of the show?
I'm going to be honest with you. I remember I seen Charlie do an interview where somebody kind of asked something like this, and his response was he wasn't familiar with this part of the industry because he was in the music industry with 704, right? Okay. So he said that he carried it the same way that he did with music, not knowing it's not the same way.
Trelly, wrong move, Jack. Wrong move.
So, I mean, but you live and you learn. You know what I mean?
You
got to have stepping stones, because when you mess up, at least you know how to redirect yourself, right? Yeah. But a lot of the girls, we was all over the place. I'm going to be all the way real with you. Time-wise, time management, communication. Like, he tried to stay on top of it, but like I said, first season, it had to be at least like 15, 20 of us. That's a lot of women to keep control over just by one person.
And not only control, but the expenses that's coming behind these 15 women. So that's why I was asking. So it is kind of a difference in the entertainment industry and the music business, because, you know, actors and actresses, they get fined if they're late. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm talking about disciplinary, I'm talking about like that. Okay, you late. That's a $50 fine. That's a $100 fine. That's a $2,000 fine. But it's like, how much money do you exactly? So how much money do you think that was spent on y'all throughout this whole show? Did y'all make any money on this show?
So most of the money that we did make had to be put back in for expenses of travel. Like, we went to the Rick Ross, what is it called? The Rick Ross, not the all-white party, but he usually have a party at his house.
Okay.
Pool party. Yeah. You know what I mean? Expenses for that. We was in a big old mansion. We was filming. We was on sprinters. You know, food, hair, makeup artists. So at that time, we wasn't really too much worried about, like, where's our money at? You know what I mean? Right. Because we knew that they was building this from ground up. Like, this wasn't something that was already planned, already had a budget for. Like, it was literally going day by day. We gonna figure it out, because the buzz was moving so fast. Everybody was just like, we gonna make it anyway. It really don't even matter. You know what I mean? Right. And to be honest with you, Charlie kicked it to us like, hey, this shit ain't free. Like,
yeah, it's kind of like, to me, what you're saying right now is kind of like, for artists, it's like an advance check. Yep. You can't just go and spend that money, because that's the money the label that's putting towards you, and you got to put that money right back into your project. So yeah, I understand. So the money that y'all was making, y'all had to put back into the project. It was like an advance.
For sure.
Yeah. What's something that happened on the show that just didn't sit well with you?
Let's see. I'll say from first season to second season, how many people really just like gave up after so much work was put in.
We mean
so many long nights. It's a lot of girls that didn't want to be on season 2. That's why it's new girls on season 2 from season 1. A lot of girls just felt like they was also buried in the program, and they felt like they should be getting some sort of fee, not knowing like we said, everything was pretty much being recycled. You know, the money we was getting from, like, when we went to California, when we went to Jasmine brand, when we was doing different podcasts, that money was being put back into us, and a lot of people didn't like that. You know, they kind of felt like that Shirley was basically playing us because we didn't know anything about it. It didn't really sit right with me because I don't know that side of the business. You know what I mean? And now that I'm older, I done educated myself, and it makes more sense now that I done had conversations with Shirley. Like, no, actually, he really wasn't playing it.
Storm, why didn't you go get a manager? At that time, you was like, do you know that people probably would have wanted to manage you? You was a cast member on this reality show. You was a dancer. Like, you was into the industry. You was already in there. So why didn't you look for a manager?
I really wish that I would have took it more serious, because it would have went a lot further. It would have. But like I said, I did not know. I really thought basically by us getting the type of buzz that we had, it was going to take off, and then we were going to be able to do separate things. You know what I mean? I thought by like the networking and stuff that we were doing, that we were going to be able to meet people, because we did end up having a manager that was with us when we went to New York, like I said, for Breakfast Club. But it was like as if she couldn't manage all of us. So she was only taking care of people that she thought was serious. And at the time, I was okay with it. But then it was like everything was kind of starting to die down by the time it caught up to me. Like, okay, this ain't working with what she got going on. You need to go find somebody else. But the buzz kept getting slower and slower, you know? And then people was reaching out to me. They was like, well, you gonna have to give me $1,000 first up front. And I'm like, I got the buzz. Like, you're reaching out to me. I didn't even, you know what I'm saying? So I just didn't know what was a scam and who was really trying to get over.
Got you. Now, you know, often I ask this question, and I just don't want to ask you this question and you respond to this question, you know, tooting your own horn. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be honest with me. How do you think the other cast members on the show viewed you as being on the show? And a follow-up question, was there anybody that you didn't like on the show?
Okay. I would say that I got along with everybody. I don't really feel like nobody from first or second season really, like, you know, had any like secret animosity or, you know, it was any type of hate. I think they just probably thought I was really the goofy one. Mm-hmm. But I was the quick temper one as well. Like when motherfuckers was being late, we've been filming all day. I'm hungry. Y'all aggravate me. I was always the one that was ready to have a drink. Okay, that's probably how they view.
Okay,
yeah, because you know, after all day you being around all these women, you got everybody complaining, people tired, they hungry, gotta go get their kids. Like, oh, I gotta be to work in the morning. After a while, it's like, hey, like this weed ain't doing enough. Y'all getting on my nerves. But first season, I wasn't a fan of Diana Lee. Yeah, I don't care. Don't mention names. Yeah, whatever. I wasn't a fan. She know it. Don't care. Season 2, African Doll. No. Okay? And it was just for the simple fact that some of the girls that came in for season 2 kind of came in like they was running this shit. And it pissed me off.
Why would you say that?
Well, we went through a lot for season 1. You understand what I'm saying? Because I told you everything was pretty much day by day. Like, none of this was a budget. It wasn't a plan, really. You know? It was just kind of like, we getting on it. We figuring it out. But it wasn't really like a set plan. So, we went through a little bit too much for me. But, you know, looking back at like different other type of podcasts and people telling their stories, is in my mind, I'm thinking like, eventually you're going to get to the bag. Like, there's certain things that you got to go through. Like, it's not just going to happen overnight. Like, you think you ain't going to go through shit. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like that. And people came in second season and it was just like, oh, we running this shit. Oh, y'all was sorry the first season. This is the reason why we're here type shit. And I wasn't feeling that because I know everything that we had already been through, the conversations, the fallouts, the arguments, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, hey, we built this shit. Like, we had the buzz, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't even be a season 2 if we ain't go crazy like we did for season 1. And I just couldn't really respect it. Like, don't get me wrong. Oh, you can feel how you want to feel. You know what I'm saying? Work your moves. Like, baby, feel like you that girl. You supposed to. But when it gets to the point where it's like you trying to override people that basically is shining the spotlight for you as well, like we ain't do shit, like we ain't make this show, that's when it became a problem. But
did you not think one time that, you know, the new girls on season 2, they was fresh meat, so now they got to plant their foot inside that show to show, hey, look, we just as good as y'all, but now we about to turn it up even more that y'all didn't do in season 1. Now, maybe y'all did work harder than they did, but can you blame them?
Respect just wasn't shown.
Yeah.
That's it.
So you
That's
felt like
all
they
with
didn't
me.
respect you?
Nah, it definitely wasn't no respect.
So,
and to me, honestly, I really do feel like that, and I stand on that. I know for a fact that we made that buzz that made y'all even want to get on here for season 2. If it wasn't for us, and if we wasn't popping, or if we wasn't lit to y'all, or if y'all didn't think we was about to get to a bag, why would you want to be on season 2? So why you coming in acting like we ain't the one who paved the way for it to even be a season 2?
how do you feel like some of the women was able to get on the show for season 2? Because you said for season 1 y'all auditioned.
Yeah.
Was it the same thing for season 2?
No, it wasn't.
Explain to me about that.
So basically, we was like in a group text, and Trelly was just telling us, a couple of the girls had left, the main girls, Diana Lee as well, and he was like, we're gonna have to have some new girls for season 2. And at first, nobody was tripping. The show must go on. You know what I mean? We was excited for season 2. We really was. But it was just the way that they went about it. Like, they didn't have to audition. We filming this day, you got 2 new people popping up. You know what I mean? So it just kind of threw everybody for a loop. Like, damn, like we had to come with our best shit on. We had to come up here talking shit, come up here doing this and the third, and you just sending out DMs and shit, and motherfuckers is on the show.
Yes, that's what I was saying. So wouldn't that point towards Trilly though? Because he was the one that made it happen, right?
Oh, we was definitely talking shit to Shirley too.
Okay, because I'm like, well, how is it these women's fault when he's the one that's bringing the people on the show?
But I wasn't okay. But I don't want you to get that mixed up, because I wasn't upset because it was new faces. Not at all. Like, no shade to none of them. I wasn't upset because of that. I was just upset because of how they were displaying how they basically, they didn't feel like they was replacements. Let's just put it like that.
Wow.
They hated that word. You know what I mean? But it was a couple heated arguments where it got to the point, like, where people was calling it out, like, hey, y'all is fucking replacements. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all not showing up, motherfuckers coming when they feel like it. Like, if it wasn't for the bitches that left, y'all wouldn't be here. And that was stated a couple times. And to this day, everybody is just, I wasn't no fucking replacement. Trelly asked me to be on the show, but you were still a replacement. You weren't one of the originals.
So this is all about the originals.
Yes, it is.
So, because I just want to get clarification with this, right? Mm-hmm. So we talked about Diane, right? And you just felt that she was just bigger than the program.
Yeah.
And you didn't like that about her.
It wasn't just me. It was a couple other comments that was made. But yeah, you're on the right track.
What was the issue with you and African Doll? Why couldn't y'all get along?
African Doll was the first one that said she wasn't no motherfucking replacement, and Trelly asked her to be on this show. She was the first one that I really had words with.
But was that true?
But you were a replacement, regardless if he asked you to be on there or not. He didn't ask you for season 1. Nobody even knew who you were.
Who did she replace?
She might have replaced Diana Lee, because I'm trying to think about who else wasn't even on season 2. I don't think Lynette came back for season 2 either. She didn't. So it was a couple replacements. So I can't say who she replaced per se, but it was a good 6 of us. And I think at least 3 girls had left, because this was back in 2022. I'm sorry, my memory trying to race back.
Right.
But, she basically just was trying to run shit, like trying to tell us how we need to act, need to tell us what we need to wear, what we need to do, and how we need to do it. And it's just like you started stepping on toes. You know what I mean? Because nobody was telling us this from the beginning. And now you come on here, basically you trying to make it seem like you the star of the show because you trying to be too dominant, but really you're doing too much. You understand what I'm saying? So it was really just so much of like her attitude of like, I don't give a fuck about how y'all fucking feel. I'm not no fucking replacement. I'm on this show just like y'all. But it was like that every time we was filming. And it just got to be too much. Like, oh, I'm with African Doll and I don't give a fuck about any of you bitches. Like, girl, like we all in the same, we're all on the same show. We're all trying to get to the same level. You understand what I'm saying? By you saying that shit repeatedly over and over every time we film, Shelly not giving you a check faster than he giving none of us anything. You understand? And it was just basically she thought that baby, I'm the star.
Now, Storm, come on now.
Oh,
could
no.
this, no, I'm just saying, Storm, come on. Could this just be a misunderstanding between you and African Doll? Could this be a misunderstanding thinking that, okay, she wanted to come in and run the show. You know, y'all females have dominant alpha minds and ways that y'all could come and dominate. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel like you have an alpha mind where you dominate? You know, and then talking about, you know, okay, well, y'all should wear this. You got to think about it. You own a boutique. So does she. You feel what I'm saying? So
she didn't then.
Oh, she didn't. Did you own a boutique then?
Mm-hmm. I've always had an online store.
You just wasn't feeling it. Was it just you? Was it anybody else that wasn't feeling it or what?
Nah, she got into it. Got into it with Lynette. Got into it with Tiffany. It started to be too much. Like at first, you got to accept people for who they are. You know what I'm saying? That's your attitude. That's your attitude. But then it started getting overbearing. Like when you was trying to come in on other people's scene doing the most. Like this ain't even your time to shine right now. You understand?
Give me an example.
Okay. For example, you know, people talking about that they was flipping bitches and they was beating bitches up. I don't recall. Not one time. You know what I mean? I definitely called Cap. Okay. I was there for majority of filming. I never remember seeing that. And that was a lot too. Like you used to go online and just be saying a whole bunch of shit that never happened. Like I said, trying to make it bigger than the program or what you did during filming. Like it was never going to come out. And you know, you saying that you was flipping bitches and beating bitches up, that never happened. Shook a table? Yeah, the table was shook at a restaurant. You shook the table and the glasses and shit fell off, but ooh.
Come on, Storm.
Shaking the table.
Come on, Storm.
I mean, but if we gonna talk about it, you gotta be playing with it. But you can't be on here capping and saying that you was doing this and that. But that's a part of her attitude that I couldn't vibe with. You understand? I'm a person that I like to vibe with people. Like I like energy. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. We are women. Everybody don't have good days. Some people you just don't mesh well with. It was fine in the beginning. It just started getting overbearing, and nah, it wasn't just me.
Who was you mostly close with on the show?
I would definitely say Tiffany. Tiffany was my girl. Yeah, even though we had our fallouts, and I already know she gonna watch this. Like, yeah, I love her too. But that bitch used to get on my nerves. Yeah, me and Tiffany used to go neck and neck, but we was close too. I definitely can say that for sure.
Who would you say that was really beefing? That was really beefing when the cameras was off?
Shadora and Tiffany.
But if I'm not mistaken, was it true that Shadora slapped your friend?
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest with you, right?
Was that real or was that fake?
Oh no, that slap was very real. We just don't understand where it came from. So we was filming in. Tiny T was performing. It was somebody else that was throwing money. I can't remember the dude's name, but it was real money. Like it wasn't prop money. And if you go back and look at the video from when we was filming, people was picking money up. Excuse me, including Shador, right? So we done filming. Everybody's still drinking. We lingering around. And the next thing you know, Shador like, oh yeah, because she took the fucking money. She took, mind you, Kat is one of my homegirls I used to dance with. So, like, I know how much money we done got together. And her taking motherfucking $20 up off the fucking ground was just fucking insane to me. Now, don't get me wrong. If she wasn't a go-get-money ass bitch, I probably would be like, all right, I don't know, maybe she slipped the shit in her pocket. But you got to think about it. A person that you done got multiple bags with, like, on a nightly basis, it's like, bro, I ain't never seen no bum shit like that out of her. You know what I mean? You know people's characteristics. But I don't know if Shadora had just got drunk or if she was taking up for her actual homegirl that was there, because it was somebody else that was there that just always wanted to be around. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Every time we filmed, every time we was going somewhere, like they always needed to be there.
They wanted to get on the show. You know what that was about. Come on, Storm.
But I really think Shadora was taking up for her friend. And then also I think Shadora had a little bit too much to drink that night, because it literally just came out of nowhere. Like, we was about to go, and Shadora just started screaming, like, she took the fucking money. I'm like, Shadora, she came with me. Like, this is my homegirl. Like, she ain't even on that kind of time. She like, no, Storm. She took that motherfucking money. Come to find out it wasn't her who took the money. But at that point, I really felt like she was taking up for her homegirl. Yeah. So she had to get the heat off for her, and was just like, fuck it, a little slap ain't gonna hurt.
Yeah. So y'all fly to LA and y'all go to the Breakfast Club. Mm-hmm. You're
we
going
went to
back.
LA first.
Y'all went to where?
LA first because it was BET weekend.
Okay, and then y'all go to the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, I think it was in the same week or maybe right after.
And you go back and forth with Lil Duval. Kind of walk me through that whole experience from the time that y'all walked into the Breakfast Club and how y'all exit out. What was going on? So,
first and foremost, we rode a Sprinter because it was last minute. I think it was in the same week. We all couldn't get flights fast enough, right? It just so happened I had an allergic reaction. I'll never forget this shit. I was so mad. Like, out of all times for me to get a fucking allergic reaction, like, I'm getting it now. So I was taking Benadryls and I was popping them shits like they was Skittles because it was only a certain amount of hours we had until it was time. You know, you about to be on camera. Like, you about to be with Charlamagne.
It was a drowsy Benadryls?
Yes,
yeah,
but I wasn't even, hey, listen, I wasn't even getting drowsy. I think because my adrenaline was rushing so much. Because, you know, usually Benadryl make you sleepy. No. So we end up getting to the Airbnb. I think it was the next morning. Everybody getting makeup and stuff done, getting all dolled up, getting cute. So we end up getting there. You know, they kind of told us what was going on. We did not know Lil Duval was going to be there. Like, we had absolutely no idea. So I thought that was pretty dope. I definitely like him as a comedian, so I definitely thought that was dope that we was there with somebody else, you know. So we all go and sit down. Everybody announced their names, and as soon as we come in off the rip, Lil Duval talking shit. Now, side note, let me tell you this. I was already talking to Trelly. Like, Trelly, like, now, you know, I got brothers and shit. I got jokes too, I'm telling you. So he ain't about to just be coming ragging on us just because of our name.
Right.
So I was already mentally preparing myself, like, this is a comedian. There ain't no need for you to take nothing personal. Go ahead and fire them shots back. He could take it. So we sat down, everybody kicking it, but off the rip, he was already ready for the bullshit. He was like, oh, y'all bitches couldn't be no side chicks of mine. So he was just already starting. So it just so happened, I think Charlamagne had asked, like, well, why would y'all want to be a side chick and all this stuff? And, you know, I started answering questions, just basically just letting him know, like, wait a minute. Everybody not on here side chicks. Like, side note, little do people know, I was one of the only ones on the show that actually wasn't a side chick. I was getting cheated on. Okay? So I'm going to throw that out there real quick, and we'll circle back to that. So,
because you know that was
what?
That was somebody else's story too, that they was getting cheated on the show too.
Oh, was it? Didn't know about that one. So Charlamagne was like, yeah. He was like, y'all can never be no damn side chick of mine. I don't even understand why any niggas want to talk to y'all celebrities. I don't care, y'all home wreckers. So he just kept going, like it wouldn't stop. So I was like, Duval, I was like, you too short to even have a side chick, okay? Wow. And he was like, oh, well, you look like you could be a side nigga. And I said, well, baby, you look like you could be the side baby, okay? Damn. And Charlamagne started rolling. So Lil Duval was like, he looked over at Charlamagne. He was like, that shit ain't even that damn funny. He was like, bruh, actually it was funny. He was like, okay, I'll give her that. I was like, yeah, I got one from the home team. Cause, you know, going up against a comedian, like, you've been doing this shit for a living. Like, you're funny big in real life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was so dope. They showed us so much love. You know, they was really nice to us. You know, Charlamagne really wasn't even a dickhead as much as I thought that he was going to be. Because, you know, watching other episodes, it's like, ugh.
Kind of like got a, you know,
and then I was sitting right next to him. So I already thought he was going to be dishing it out to me first. You know what I mean? But it was really cool to be on that platform and just to be able, you know, to let people know really what we had going on. Because I think the type of way that they were looking at us, like just seeing that come across, saying like, oh, we're gonna have the real side chicks of Charlotte here. I kind of feel like they was like, yeah, I don't really know about this one, but we gonna do it anyway.
Still was dope though.
Oh, it definitely
a dope experience. You made it to the Breakfast Club. You did something that most people probably would never make it to.
Never.
You was there.
Yeah.
Kudos to you.
I appreciate that. I still watch that interview too.
Yeah, you should. And listen, I'm gonna tell you, you still can eat from this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you may not capitalize on it then, but the way social media is now, you still can capitalize on it now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You just gotta, you know, jump back into it, but we'll talk about that off camera.
Okay.
So who in Charlotte you think that didn't like that you was on the show?
So at the time, I wasn't dating. And to be totally transparent, the person that was my boyfriend on the show wasn't really my boyfriend. It was basically to interact out something that had already happened in my life. But honestly, I just felt like certain females just wasn't with it because they looked at me like, you really a homewrecker? Like, you really going for this side chick shit? Before they even watched the show. You know what I mean? I got a lot of backlash about that, especially like with me being a dancer. I remember it was a scene where I was supposed to meet up with the dude I was dating at the time at his club. I had dropped off my trench coat and I didn't want to wear a thong. Like, I didn't feel comfortable wearing a thong on TV. And a lot of people was just like, it was like cheeky panties. You know what I mean? Where like the bottom of the cheek is hanging. Yeah. But a lot of people was just in the comments like, I can't believe that's what she wore.
Well, they thought it was provocative?
No, they didn't. I guess they think I should have just showed the whole butt.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're already a dancer. Like,
so why not just show it
wear
off?
Those panties? Yeah, and I couldn't rock with that. You know what I'm saying? Because really, y'all don't even know the backstory, but you so busy assuming and thinking that you know really what's going on. Like, yeah, my daughter's gonna watch this, so I would rather her see cheeks than a whole butt out. You know what I'm saying? Because at the time, my daughter didn't even know I was a dancer, so it's still certain things that I had to stand by. Because Shirley told me to wear a thong as well,
and you I wasn't going for it.
Mm-mm. I really didn't even want to do the scene, but I also understood, like in this business, it is certain things that's gonna steam up. Like if that was just a clip that would make somebody tap in just to watch that, you know what I mean, that episode. But I was like, all right, we got to compromise. So
to think about it now on this interview, would you go back and do it now?
No,
you would still keep it the same.
I would.
Yeah,
I felt like the bottom of the cheeks was enough. You know what I mean? I do. And if you think otherwise, you should have went and did the same.
What have you learned about being on a reality show such as The Real Side Chicks of Charlotte?
Everything is not really always souped up to what you think it's going to be. Things might move fast, but everything might not be moving fast as you think that it is going to move. This business is very different. And if you're not quick on your feet and ready to, do what needs to be done, it's just not going to work in your favor. You know what I mean? Like I said before, I kind of wish that I could have capitalized a little bit more off of this just because it was already a buzz out there and how things were already moving. But some things you do kind of have to be educated on in order, or at least you're getting that help from someone else. Right. As far as like, okay, these are the steps you need to do. This is how you need to do it. You need to do this interview. You need to make sure, your hair is this way. Most of the stuff I honestly was doing, reaching out to different vendors. I had a lot of people that wanted me to be as ambassadors and stuff for their brand, different things like that. But I think I was missing like the key points of what really needed for me to take them bigger steps to get further.
That part. I know that you said that you did another film. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you want to elaborate on that more, but is it out or?
It's not out yet.
So it's in the works.
That's also directed by Trelly, produced as well. It will be out soon. We just stopped filming, I say maybe like 3 weeks ago. Okay. So everything is still in the works as far as for getting all the finishing touches and stuff like that. Saturday just can't wait to make it to Monday. Like I said, Trelly is, when it comes to stuff like that, really dope as far as writing, producing, directing. I'm really excited for that. Like I said, I am trying to jump back out there now. So, like you just said, it is still ways to capitalize.
Absolutely.
But you got to start somewhere. And that's why I was even more excited that you even, thought about me to invite me on here. Because it's like, okay, here we go with the baby steps again. Like, you don't have to move as fast. Now you know a little bit more. So I'm definitely excited about that new movie. It'll be premiering soon. But, it feels good to actually still be able to learn from what you should have did and still be able to say, you know what, it's still another day, you can do it again. If
you can go back and tell the 2021 Storm some encouragement words, what would you tell her?
I would definitely tell me to grow up, for sure. It was a lot of immaturity. I would definitely say selfishness, and to not be so hard-headed, because it was some advice that was given, but I think I was just so lost in everything that was going on. I didn't know who or what to listen to or what really needed to be done. And I also, like I said, I was in a headspace as far as like dancing and stuff was new to me. So my mind was scattered everywhere, trying to hurry up and get to work, go dance. So just to be more disciplined, listen to my intuition.
Absolutely. And being the entrepreneur, being a black woman, especially in Charlotte. Charlotte is Charlotte.
Yeah.
You from here, you seen the changes with Charlotte, and how Charlotte is now. What do you think the most important part about being a black woman and being an upcoming entrepreneur in Charlotte?
Networking for sure. A lot of people discredit networking. It's a lot of successful women here. It's a lot of upcoming successful women. It's a lot of people that's putting the footwork in, doing the promoting, really getting out here and doing what needs to be done. It can definitely happen. It's money out here. You know what I mean? And it's money out here for everybody, regardless if you're doing the same profession, lashes, selling clothes, doing hair, running a daycare, whatever, works for you. I would just definitely tell them to keep promoting themselves, keep branding, even if you got to change and rebrand. Who cares?
Absolutely.
Because like I said before, it's you versus you. Like, you're trying to be a better you every day, and that's what's really important. Who cares who's judging you? Who cares who don't like it? As long as you're able to sleep at night knowing that you gave it your all within that day, because we got the same 24 hours, I feel like that's all that matters. You know what I mean? Only way that you could doubt yourself is if you know that you're not pushing yourself to your furthest limit.
That part.
Yep.
How you feel about being on 1 Hour Talk with Mazee?
You know what? I had a good freaking time. I can't freaking lie.
It is.
Yeah, you definitely touched some points that I didn't think that we was going to talk about today. And it might have ruffled a little bit of feathers, but I don't really care about that. They'd be all right.
Yeah.
But, everything that I said, it's all love. We ain't about to get into all the jumping in my comments later on, like, oh, you wasn't. Everything I said today had already been said, And not to bring up no old drama, but we are, having a conversation, something that you don't even know about. You know what I mean? So I don't want nobody to be like, oh, I can't believe she went on. Y'all, come on now. We grown.
We are grown.
Thank God for growth.
Absolutely. And you heard it here, man, on 1 Hour Talk with Mazee. I had the pleasure of interviewing Storm tonight. Man, this was a great interview. Like I said, I appreciate you coming on my show.
Thank you.
Having a 1 hour sit down talk with me is so great, man. And I think what you do is great. I think the part that you played in the show was great. Yeah. And I think that you need to start casting in more shows, not just reality shows, start movies. Yeah. And don't just settle for Charlotte. Go to LA. You know what I'm saying? Go out and adventure out and do you. You know what I'm saying? Because there's always room to capitalize on anything that you do. Yeah. So power to the people to you. I appreciate you being here. So and y'all already know my slogan, man. Until next time, love, peace, and happiness. We out. Peace.